What's up, you guys? It's the Authentic Empress. Okay. So, I wanted to be, kind of rip off another layer, okay, of um, transparency with this message. So, this is not going to be visuals. Fight out of a trauma bond to restrain yourself from a trauma bond. Somebody who's trauma bonded you to them. And with that being said, like, there's been like a lot of self accountability and introspection. And I think what really is so mind boggling for people who see us do this and may find that triggering or something to compete with or war against is that generally divine beings are 10 steps ahead when it comes to engaging in introspection. Looking at ourselves, like, what did we do wrong? What could we have done better in whatever situations that we're dealing with, while we're navigating out of a painful cycle. I think the only thing about this particular season of warfare that we are actively transmuting and evolving out of is the severity and the intensity. It was a higher severity, higher intensity. And some of you guys may even feel like, that's how it's been like with recent cycles as well, or just as you went along your journey, it just seems like the cycles just grew in intensity and severity. Some may even say, oh, new levels, new devils type of ordeal. But man, like, do you believe that you're super strong? Like, you tell me, like, out of this most recent or the most last emotional, psychological, physical, all of that, right? That cycle that you are actively coming out of, I feel like if there were ever moments in previous cycles where you doubted your strength, I feel like this most recent cycle that we're coming out of is like we're really grounding how strong we really are, how capable we truly are to overcome, and that we're more than conquerors because we've conquered past cycles. But it's like this particular cycle, like how deeply painful, deeply wounding it was, it's like now, a lot of the scriptures and stuff, even though you could have had a level of understanding with these scriptures, like you have like a deeper understanding, like that you're more than a conqueror. Like, you're literally more than a conqueror. Like, like, this most recent cycle that I'm actively transmuting in regards to like being with a person, like being vulnerable with someone, thinking that I love this person loved me too, right? When I met them, I was already, so I have to take accountability, myself as well. For example, the energy that I was in when I met this person, I didn't want to have anything to do with the opposite sex. At least, like, I didn't want to date or anything like serious. Didn't want to sleep with anybody. I had just got out of a lengthy relationship. And so there was a few other guys, who were interested in me. And, they kind of got more of the cold shoulder from me, simply because, like, I was just really, really grounded in that energy, like, kind of unshakable, at least I thought. And so when I met the person that I actually let my guard down with, even with him, like, I told him, straight up, like, this is where I'm at with things, this is where I'm at right now. I like you, I find you very attractive, like, whatever. And something that I was thinking earlier was that I'm not about to be a part of any more cycles of somebody doing to me what they've done to their ex. Okay. So I remember telling him, like, hey, I don't really feel like I'm ready to, have sex or anything, so if you want to sleep with somebody else, sleep with anybody else, you're free to do so, just because this is where I'm at, right? And he played the game like people play the game, charm and flattery, sweet talk, bullshit, because I clearly piqued his interest as well, you know what I'm saying? So so at the end of the day, I guess he said what he felt like would be the keys to open whatever doors that he wanted to open with me. And he felt offended by me saying that, because he had me under the impression that he was already celibate, right? He had me under the impression that he was celibate. He had me under the impression that he had been celibate for a year. And so he was okay with being patient with me. He, made it seem like he resonated with, the challenges that, I dealt with, that I've overcome, that I was actively, getting through. So, of course, I got, a little more intrigued, finding out that he was celibate. Okay, my bad, y'all. My phone got heated. Okay, like it's pretty sunny. So anyway, like I was saying, I was intrigued by the fact that not only was he handsome, well-mannered, and all of that, I was intrigued, by him saying, basically showing that he could be disciplined. That's really how I'm looking at it, as a feminine. I'm looking at, oh, you can refrain from sex, or you can whatever, as that's a good quality in anybody. So I was intrigued with him, understanding that information. And he definitely gave this energy of somebody who wasn't quick to be argumentative, more so someone who wanted to talk things out. Like, because I was in like this impulsive energy of, I was ready to shut the door on anybody, like that's where I was at, like including with him. And he was more so, bringing things down to earth, like let's talk about this. So again, another way to pull me in, right? So it's very, noble details and character traits about this person that kind of helped me open up when it comes to being vulnerable with the opposite sex again. Like times where I was like kind of ready to walk away, you know what I'm saying? And he, kind of reeled me back in, before, I walked away and stuff, This wasn't anybody that really pressured me into, being sexual with him. We, our conversations were very organic. We had natural chemistry. And he seemed to be, somewhat open with me. Like, I'm trying to get good angles, okay, because I don't want my phone to overheat. But with that being said, like, there was things that went on in regards to like us both having dreams, okay, like prophetic dreams. And throughout our like knowing each other, he will open up to me about things like about his mom trying to put him in an arranged marriage. Like clearly, he has foreign parents. His mom arranging for him to get in an arranged marriage, and how he didn't want to do it, you feel me? And his ways of trying to maneuver and buy more time, and his struggles emotionally with that. And me just being who I am, I would say stuff like, why would God, support anything like that? Like, if your heart is not in it, marriage is supposed to be sacred. It should be with somebody that you really love, and that you're in love with, not just for money, because the whole purpose of the arranged marriage was for money. You know what I'm saying? And he wasn't really down with it, but he's also one of those masculines that wants to provide at the same time. You feel me? And he wanted to kind of earn that approval from his mom as well, considering his, childhood challenges with her growing up. So it was obvious to me that there were issues, okay, with his siblings and their mother. And, whenever we would be on the phone, because all I have is like what God allowed me to see throughout dealing with this person. So like there was one moment when he told his brother, like his brother was complaining about the mom, and he told his brother, yo, like just do what she say, you feel me? Like he was trying to be that person, to kind of keep the peace, or at least that's what he presented to me. He was excited about where my head was at, the nature of our conversations, and even said that his mom, and his sister, they think the same way, they talk within the same manner in which I talk, or our conversations, basically conversations that have depth, like not the shallow surface stuff. Like he was excited to show me his sister's profile, and show me some of her video content, because she does similar content where she's basically like she's in the field of psychology. You know what I'm saying? I have a bachelor's in psychology. So just show me like some of her, videos, helping the public and stuff like that. So moving along, he was excited to tell me how he showed photos that he took of us. Like there was one time we went out for a walk, and he wanted to take pictures of me and him together. Like he took the picture. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he was telling me how excited he was to show his friends. Now, after he showed his friends that photo of us, slowly but surely things started to decline between me and him. So it was obvious to me there was something that was communicated on behalf of these people that was changing his behavior towards me. It was obvious. Like it was the timing. Like you couldn't, like it was obvious. So me being who I am, intuitive, attentive, especially when it comes to my life and my personal life, because again, like I don't just be rubbing shoulders with just anybody. You know what I'm saying? Like it's going to take more than just physical attraction for me. It's going to take more than just your materials, what you're driving, your money. Like, I mean, if anybody don't know yet, like I grew up in a 2-parent home. You know what I'm saying? I grew up in a 2-parent home, married 2 parents, I've always had everything I needed. I never had to buy a car myself. My dad always bought my cars, and I've had more than one car. You know what I'm saying? Like, all I had to do was just be an upstanding, woman, an upstanding kid. And I did that. And I had my challenges. I had my struggles. I dealt with, family trauma. My first time I was ever traumatized was from family. You know what I'm saying? Like, sexually assaulted and sexual abuse on both sides of my family. You know what I'm saying? Like, I dealt with these. I had family that was jealous of me. That I loved so much. And there was times I had to get in fights with family that I loved. And I didn't want to have to get in a fight, but I had to defend myself. I had things plotted against me to harm me, and and people not believe me, but anyway, the point is, it's not easy, y'all, it's not easy to have people that you've been nice to, that you've been kind to, okay, considerate of, attentive, all of that, basically kind of just being that person that everybody wants in their life, like, or being the kind of person that anybody would want somebody to be like, like that's showing true care and compassion and love and like the fruits of the spirit, where people feel safe and secure. They feel safe to be vulnerable, they feel seen, and respected for who they are. That's generally how I treat people, because I've definitely experienced like discrimination since a young age. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it will be stuff that was out of my control, like because I'm a cute girl, because my parents keep me up, I would dress nice, I had nice things, I grew up in a 2-parent home, I grew up in a nice neighborhood, like I had a trampoline, a swing set, pool, like bicycles, like all this stuff, and so there was, many of the times where people mistreated me was because it was just my blessings, like me just being blessed, God just choosing to bless me, with parents who were present, okay? But moving along, so with, dealing with this person, there was a lot of spontaneity, like, in our connection, especially, like, when it comes to us just bonding and, just, it was that energy of, honestly, just being in each other's presence was enough, that's just how strong our chemistry was, right? Like, we would be playful with each other naturally, you know what I'm saying? Like, pique each other's interest, kind of be able to ebb and flow on different objectives and subjects and topics, okay? And I'm saying all this to say that honesty is always like the standard that I set in all of my connections, okay? Friendship, family, a lover, whatever, but that's always the standard that I set, how people see how I carry myself, like the standard that I hold myself to, like authenticity, honesty, being truthful, being trustworthy and stuff. That's, the standard, I set with, other people and like my connections. And my thing is, like, if I'm anywhere like close to you, or I'm moving in a way where I'm being vulnerable with you, you better believe that's because you have shown to me that you appear trustworthy, you appear truthful, you appear, honest, you appear authentic, right? So it's not a matter, like, I want you to understand how calculated people have to be, how strategic people have to be with people who are, divine, like people who are divine feminines and masculines, people who are truly anointed. It's not, we tripped into a trap, or we tripped into a lie, or we tripped into, somebody playing us. No, like, people had to really lie really well in order to get themselves involved with us or get us involved in something, and then they pulled the rug from under our feet. It wasn't a matter of, oh, I was just dumb as a box of rocks. Like, nah, like, again, with setting that standard of honesty, it's like, yo, if you feel like you don't want to do this anymore, you don't want to talk to me anymore, or you want to sleep with somebody else, can you please just tell me that? Can you please just let me know? Because I will let you know. Like, I wouldn't do that to you. Like, regardless if we're, official or not, if I'm sleeping with you, I'm not going to jeopardize your health or your self-esteem, your confidence, your security, your safety, and go and sleep with somebody else while I'm sleeping with you. You get what I'm saying? And so, again, this is the understanding that it appeared like me and this person had. And this is what, I want the haters, the people that's, attached to them, or attached to you, the hating ass bitch attached to him that's been attacking me. This is what y'all need to understand. Like, when this bitch popped up, she literally just popped up. Like, she popped up on my social media, like, on my shit, and there's nothing different about how intuitive I am. Like, my intuition is the type of intuition that's in divine timing. Like, it's divinely orchestrated, it's divinely aligned, it's divinely timed. So it's like, hell, there may be some days where I look at my views on my story on Instagram, and there may be some days that I don't. This particular day, I happen to look at, and this is just being naturally intuitively guided, this is just being one with the divine, so always intuitively guided. I happen to look on my story, my views, and I noticed her. I never seen her before, clicked on her, saw him, he was our mutual friend, and I'm like, what in the world? Like, why are you, we don't have any more connections. Like, why would you be, what is this about? Asked him and her about it, okay? And, he's telling me, oh, she's, my close friend. So I'm like, what the hell? Close friend? Like, what is going on? So, mind you, he has started being weird with me, weeks ahead, and honestly, sooner than that. Ever since he showed that picture of me and him to his friends, ever since he started talking about us to them, he started to change up towards me little by little. And I knew it wasn't him. Like, I knew it was the people who was in his ear, or at least that's what I thought. Let's be clear. That is what I thought. Because I'm gonna tell you how I feel now. I look at it like, yo, if you hang with those people and they are like that, that's because you are like that. If they are bullies, if they are mean-spirited and you're keeping them around, that's because you're a bully and you're mean-spirited. And that's why y'all stick together. This is how I'm looking at it now. I'm looking at it like, whatever you told me about your ex, okay, and how that resolved and, how that went, okay, because he seemed like he was being honest. He said that they both did, some fucked up shit to each other. Like, and, he shared a lot of things with me that appeared like he was being honest with me. He told me that he used to have, he used to lie real bad. He used to, like, straight up, he said he used to lie real bad. Okay, he said he used to have problems with sex. Okay, like sleeping around a lot. Okay, and was very detached. It was like very detached sex. When somebody tell you stuff like that, with boldness and, but also like you can obviously tell that they're not, they don't come off like they're proud about it, but they tell you that in confidence, you develop this perception that this is an honest person. Like, dang, like, you told me straight up that you used to lie real bad. You told me straight up that you did some fucked up shit to your ex and she did some fucked up shit. You told me straight up that you used to think you was a sex addict, so you want to get baptized, you want to get closer to God, you want to be a man of God, you want to be celibate because you used to have problems with sex addiction, you feel me? Like, you tell me how you got problems with alcoholism. Like, you tell me that, you was violated when you was a child, and that's still a struggle for you. And you told me that you used to do some strange shit for some change, like just to stay on, okay, due to the lack of support, okay, or just challenges that you was facing financially. If you tell me stuff like that, I'm looking at you like, damn, like I'm gonna look at you like you're honest. We did not form a bond off of nothing. There was communication that's not generally spoken between two individuals. Some people just take shit to the grave, right? But there was things shared with me. That's why I shared things with him in confidence to make it appear like this is a genuine connection. And some of those things we happen to have in common. Like, some things, not all. You know what I'm saying? But so for me to protect his information, mind you, this is just a trait of who I am. So it goes beyond him. That's who I've been, like, for years. When people can come to me and, see me as a safe tower, as a safe space, or something within their soul feels like it's safe to share things or talk to me about things, seek my advice, my counsel, or whatever, about long-held secrets that they've been battling with secretly in silence. He's not the first person. Like, this person I was recently dealing with, I have a track record, okay, of forming very close-knit bonds, okay, very unique sacred bonds with people in general who share some I give y'all an example, because y'all don't know the person. I've had somebody share with me, that her stepbrother used to rape her, and she never told on him because of how aggressive her stepfather was. And whenever he disciplined the boys specifically, he will fight them like a grown man, and like beat the fuck out of them. So she allowed herself to be abused to protect somebody, to protect her abuser. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then it's like the dynamics of these traumatic stories, that people are silently navigating through, and the reason why they feel like they can't just tell any and everybody. It's specific people that God aligns them with that will understand and comprehend, because you have to align with people who can see you through God's understanding, God's eyes, and your soul is going to recognize it. It's not about what I look like. It's not about my name. It's not about none of that. It's not about what I got. It's about your soul. It's about soul recognition. I had a man tell me how his older cousin bullied him. His older cousin bullied him into performing oral sex on him when he was a kid. And for years, y'all ever heard stories about those kids that just go mute? They stop talking, like for months and months at a time. They just become nonverbal. He was one of those kids. And you know, this particular guy, when I say he's multi-talented, like this dude can play like at least 5 different instruments, and he can sing. Very gifted man. And he's never told anybody else that but me. No, this is not the person, you know, that I was recently dealing with, but this is just to give you context of what I'm accustomed to when it comes to people sharing things with me in confidence that they don't share with their family. They don't share with people that they consider friends, because it's about soul recognition, of where people feel safe enough to talk about certain things. And not just that, but sharing these things with people who can give them, you know, some type of navigation or some type of healing ointment to those struggles that they're navigating through. So this was the case with the guy that I was recently dealing with. However, when he started, you know, going to the people that he was accustomed to, that was there longer than me, sharing things. Let me tell you something I told him in the beginning. I said, if you have any questions or doubts about me, go to God about me. Don't go to anybody else about me. Go to God about me. He didn't listen. He didn't listen. And maybe he just didn't understand that. You know, maybe, you know, he was just too insecure and felt like he needed extra. He needed something more tangible. You know what I'm saying? And this is somebody who could pray, who could ask God for a dream to get clarity, and will literally have a dream that same night about whatever the situation. This is how gifted he is as well. Let me tell you this. I don't give a damn. If a divine feminine or divine masculine, okay, starts dealing with somebody, that person that they're dealing with, that they felt safe enough, vulnerable enough to deal with, that person is just as gifted as them. Okay, we're not desperate for dick. We're not desperate for pussy. We're not desperate for a person or a companion. We're very selective. And this is how you can tell true divine masculines and feminines, because you should be content with God. You're supposed to be content with God when there's nobody else. I've been in situations where I got through shit, like the most painful shit, by myself. Like just me and the divine, like nobody else, y'all. Nobody else. And that's why these people looking at me like, yo, we did this, we did that, we did this to that person, and it worked on that person, it worked on this person, it worked on that person. Why it's not working on them? Because y'all are late. Y'all are late. You're late. This is not new to me, but it's definitely more severe of a pain that I'm navigating through, for sure. Being that person that can provide counsel and conversation, okay, to help people heal out of the most deepest wounds. What the hell? Of course, silence is going to be weaponized against somebody like me. Of course, deception is going to be weaponized against somebody like me. Because I've been out here slaying dragons with the truth for years. Okay? Selflessly. Not just for me, but for other people who God has aligned on my path. And I guarantee you, people can vouch for that. I guarantee you. And even though I may be very angry, okay, with how this person mishandled me and mistreated me and just abandoned me in that pain that they caused, that I didn't deserve. I may be angry about it. I may be deeply hurt about it. I may be wounded about the shit. But one thing about it, I'm always content with God, bro. And that's my thing. God has never left me nor forsaken me. Never. This is how I'm able to constantly conquer and overcome everything that's thrown my way. Okay? Whether close connections or not close connections. Like I've had all kind of war, all kind of battles with it all. Okay? Like all ages, like even older people, y'all, even old people. God damn. Even old people, bro, that I've done nothing to. I had this lady decided to abuse her power and work against me and lie on me and, you know, try to fuck up my life for the simple fact that she called herself being woke, right? And so she was used to being able to have conversations with people and put them on. You know what I'm saying? But I was already on. But she assumed because I'm young that, you know, she assumed I was like, I guess other people my age, you know, just reckless and stupid and dumb. But I'm wise beyond my years. Like I remember this one lady called me a whiz kid before. You know what I'm saying? Like, but she felt some type of way that when she was supposed to be telling me like woke information, I already not only knew the information, but I was able to kind of put her on. You know what I'm saying? Like extend the knowledge of what she was quote unquote putting me on about. And she, I don't know, I guess she just wanted me to be dumb. Like, and because I wasn't, she decided to treat me as if I was some type of threat, okay? Try to demonize me, paint me as something that I wasn't, develop a false narrative, and had a dummy, okay, help her do it. So I'm just saying, like, and that lady had to be like in her 70s. So I've dealt with warfare from all kind of spirits and all kinds of vessels, bro. Literally. I don't know, because I'm somebody, I honestly don't have a jealous bone in my body. I have people who go out of their way to try to make me jealous. I have people who go out of their way to try to make me insecure, just to call me insecure, like intentionally do things that would make anybody. So the word insecurity within itself, like let's just really think about what that is. If you thought you was secure, if you thought the vehicle was secure, and now all these damn lights and shit coming on, you know what I'm saying? Like you having all these problems with the car after believing it was secure. Okay, now you're insecure. You're unsafe. That's what insecurities are. So I had people who literally took actions to jeopardize my safety and then turn around and call me insecure for speaking up about it, for addressing it. That's a tactic that gets used on me because I'm not somebody that's insecure. So I have people who have to be very strategic, very calculated, go hard, gather others to create conditions to make me feel unsafe and insecure, only to turn around and say that I'm insecure because that appeases their insecurities, their ego. So I don't know, like, I just felt guided to talk about this. Like, regardless of if the excuse is, oh, these people, they were supposed to just be looking out for me, you know, they just wanted to make sure I was good, you know, because they knew me longer. Like, okay, you knew me longer than those people don't even know me. And that's my thing. So there was one time I needed help and I called this person, And I'm talking to them, you know, venting and everything, and he goes mute. And I'm hearing these people just raising hell in the background on the phone. And I'm hearing like this female like going hard. I'm like, I don't know nobody that's connected to you. I've never met anybody connected to you. Nobody. So I'm like, what the hell? So I get quiet and I'm listening, and I notice that she is talking shit about me and calling me a bitch and calling me out my name and making it seem like I've done something to him. So I say to him, what are you telling them about me? Because I don't know them, and you feel me? I've never had a conversation with them. So for them to be going this hard, you have to be saying something awful about me or telling them I'm doing something awful to you. And he just denied it. You know what I'm saying? It made it seem like, oh. So it was definitely, it started giving this energy. So this girl's calling me out of my name and stuff. You know, I realized that he has me on speaker. This is something that he was a part of orchestrating. So I basically talked to her like a real woman, you know, and I did say something on the lines of, well, you know, you don't know me personally, you know, to be calling me out of my name. And, you know, I don't even loosely use the word bitch like when referring to anybody. If I call you a bitch, it's because you really are a bitch, or you've proven to be a bitch, or be moving in a bitch like form. And being that she was moving like a bitch, you know, like after I broke that down to her, you know, very eloquently, I then called her a bitch. So I had to realize that the way these people are moving about this person, like, this is what he feels like he requires in order to feel loved and cared for. But I'm not that. What I do, I move accordingly with my standards, my boundaries, my self-respect, and my self-love in mind. That's what I do. So if that requires me pulling back, if that requires me walking away or letting you pull back, if that requires me speaking up for myself and saying, yo, I feel some type of way about this, you know, I don't like how, you know, how you said this, how you did this, then so be it. But when it's very obvious that a man is trying to put me in competition, no, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. The only time the other woman is a factor is when there's some type of obscurity around the truth, and I want to know the truth. So I'm communicating. So that can consist of me communicating to her, hey, is there a lot more going on between y'all that, you know, I'm not being told? Just so, you know, because I don't want to disrespect what you got going on. Like, this is the impression he's been giving me. So if you got more insight or intel, you know, like, this is your dude and I didn't know because he kept it a secret, I'm giving you the opportunity to tell me that. Like, if you a girls, like you trying to present yourself to be like the bitch presenting herself to be on my Instagram, can you just tell me straight up, oh yeah, we be fucking, yeah, we been leaking, yeah, he said this, he be dogging you. Tell me that. And that's the thing, these bitches kept trying to keep the shit a fucking secret, but doing the shit behind the fucking scenes. I already had dreams about the shit. I had dreams about the shit months before it happened. Told him the dreams. He's sitting there like he don't hear me talking when I'm telling him about the dream. He just sitting there, you know, like he don't hear me. Okay, here's the dream. I already spoke about the dream before on my YouTube. So I'm downstairs in the kitchen sweeping, high priestess energy. Two of his homeboys ran downstairs in the dream. They ran downstairs in a haste, stopped and looked at me up and down, like confused, like, what the hell? They run back upstairs. I go upstairs, but when I go upstairs, they're at the bottom floor. It's like at least 7 floors. I don't even know how the hell. It's a dream, y'all. I know dreams are very symbolic. I'm on the very top floor in the dream. Him and a whole bunch of people, I'm assuming his friends, are at the bottom level, and I'm at the top floor overseeing, like looking over, just looking at everything. And I'm seeing these friends talk to him, talk bad about me to him. He has on black and white in the dream, black, white, and a hoodie, and he's just sitting there with his head down, black, white, right? Symbolism. So there's like a main friend just trying to reason with him to stop fucking with me and stop talking to me, blah, blah, blah. A couple floors above them was a female. All right, so this was long before I found out about the third party. A couple floors above them was a female. You know, she had that shit on in the dream or whatever. Or she looked like she did. And she's sitting there, you know, overlooking them, eavesdropping, but it's coming off like they don't see me at the very top floor looking down at all of them, right? So they talking shit. And once I realize they talking about me, I come down. I start walking down, you know, the levels, basically defending myself and vouching for myself in the dream. And everybody went silent. Nobody had nothing to say. Nobody had no defense. Like nothing. And that was the end of the dream, right? Had another dream, right? The female, the third party, popped up on my Instagram. That he ended up, you know, this is apparently the third party, because I don't do third party shit. I don't do that. And he know that. He knew that from the beginning. Anyway, so had another dream. I can't remember if I was with him in his bed, if he was in my bed. I can't remember, or if I was by myself. I can't remember exactly. But I had this dream, and there was this female who climbed on top of me in the dream, y'all. And she was naked, dark skin, skinny, long hair, could have been weave. And she was trying to climb into my body. Like, I'm laying on my back. She crawled on the bed. I should like a demon. And she started crawling on top of me as if she was going to try to... I had this feeling, this intuitive nudge, that she was trying to get inside of my skin. Okay? Boom, I sat up in a dream. Like, I sat up. And the dream ended. So you mean to tell me months later this female pop up, and this female looked just like the bitch in my fucking dream that was trying to crawl into my skin? Okay, here's how spooky I am with my intuition. About a week or two before everything blew up and came out, something was off. And I texted him. I was like, are you talking to another female? Or are you entertaining another female? And he kind of had like this nervous laugh reaction. Like, nah, like what the hell, blah, 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 blah. A couple weeks later, you know, me and him was supposed to kick it. He stood me up, and boom, this bitch was on my Instagram. I went on her shit. I see a photo of her that night me and him was supposed to kick it. And she's in his car. So I hit him up about it. Oh yeah, she was in my car. That's my close friend. Da 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 da. I don't know why she would be on your shit though. Oh, okay. So then he starts responding to my messages. Everybody want to play oblivious, you know, because they feel like this is a game. You know, they're intentionally trying to fuck my mind by being secretive and not telling me shit instead of being straight up. Damn, bitch. If it's your nigga, say that. If that's your bitch, say that. If y'all fucking, say that. Why the hell is y'all playing games and shit? It's really that simple. And I don't have time for niggas trying to like switch shit up, play games, just so they can get an ego boost off somebody trying to seek clarity, but that's making them feel like, oh, she really want me, or I'm that nigga because she pressing me. Yeah. Because we've been dealing with each other for a year and a half, dude. Like, what the fuck? You gave this whole big-ass persona. I wasn't even trying to fuck with niggas, bro. When I started... Bro, that shit is wild to me. Throughout the entire connection, we both communicated, okay, like, just about honesty. Just for you to switch up and start being deceptive and then try to turn around and point the finger at me and call me insecure because I'm asking for the fucking truth? Okay. So I was patient like I'm patient with anybody that I love. I gave, you know, another chance like I do with anybody that I love, man or woman. I did, and I showed up in a way that I would show up with anybody that I fucking love and care for. Patience. You know what I'm saying? Trying to be understanding. Trying to give you the opportunity to clear your fucking conscience and mine. Trying to, you know, create that opportunity for us both to have reassurance and, hey, like, motherfuckers fuck up. Like, people fuck up. Like, can you at least just be honest with me? You can't be honest with me? That's my thing. Like, I can't stand for a motherfucker to try to act like they so hard. They that bitch. They that nigga, but they a fucking liar. You so hard, but you not hard enough to tell the truth? You a bitch. You're a bitch. You're a bitch. And I'm gonna be all the way real with y'all. Throughout this situation, I've been talking mad shit about this nigga to myself. When my spirit guy's like, fuck this nigga. I don't want this nigga. I don't want to want this nigga. I love this nigga, but this nigga is not moving how he should be moving with somebody like me, so fuck him. It's on some shit like the divine is telling me unblock him. Keep him on block. I had him on block for how long? This nigga still ain't say shit. This nigga called himself sending me this weak ass apology. Fuck that nigga. Fuck that nigga. Fuck that nigga. Fuck him. I need a real apology. Not no pussy shit. Not no scary shit. Not no playing game shit. But since you want to play games, then I bet. Whatever judgment you are under, that you did this to yourself. I can't stand for motherfuckers to be out here moving shiesty as hell and mistreating people unnecessarily. It was completely unavoidable. And then when you're going through karma, y'all try to project that onto the person that you did harm to unnecessarily. What the fuck? Touch not my anointed and do my prophets no harm. I can't stand motherfuckers who out here saying God, and God is good and God did, claiming God, claiming that they're holy and moving like devils, and think it's cool, think it's cute, or doing it for clout. God, why? Who the fuck convinced you that God gonna bless that? It had to be Satan. It had to be Satan. And y'all really thought that I was gonna be the one that did right by all y'all motherfuckers. Y'all really thought I was gonna be the one. The only thing that y'all are going to, I guess, because these are motherfuckers who wanted to see me hurt, who wanted this nigga to hurt me, who wanted him to fuck up his opportunity with me, dumbass. Okay? Because when you're connected with a divine being, especially a divine feminine, niggas start making more money. Niggas start being more confident. Niggas start being more ambitious. Niggas start glowing and shit because of the love that they're getting. Oh. Because they dealing with somebody that's exclusive with their energy. They don't pass their pussy around. Oh, okay. That pussy got you calling my name? Like, I'm just saying. Like, we already did it. We already did it again. You can't even take a shower with me without wanting to fuck it again. I'm just saying though, like, and then for them motherfuckers that try to make it seem, oh, it's just sex. It's just sex? Okay. So, this is where I'm at with it. Whatever y'all trying to make it seem like, whatever facade you presented and try to make it appear like, oh, you're recovering, and just know that I'm judging motherfuckers off how you treat me. Period. Never mind what you said. Never mind what y'all try to make it appear like. Whatever. I'm judging motherfuckers off how you treat me when I ain't do shit to you. Right by you. I'm judging you by how the fuck you treated me when I did right by you. That's how I'm judging. You treated me like shit when I did right by you. You're a demonic ass person. You're a mean spirited ass person. You're not a good person. You're not a good person. I don't care. Like, I don't care. I don't care about the accolades. I don't care about the achievements. I don't care. It's the same old shit, right? Again, it's going to take more than physicalities with me. It's going to take more than that. It's going to take more than materials. You can't buy me. I'm not one of them. You can't buy me. I'm not one of them females. My dad was in my life. And my dad was active in my life. So you can't buy me. Okay? I'm attractive. My family full of attractive people. So you being attractive is not enough. So again, you treat me like shit. You try to dog me out. You try to treat me like you some type of player. That's how I'm going to perceive you. Period. I don't care what the misunderstanding was. Because I'm somebody, I'm always open to talk. I'm always open to clear things up. To be transparent. That's me. So there's no excuse. I don't care if you thought this, you thought that, you didn't have to think shit. You could have just came to me directly and have an honest conversation. It's the fact that I knew motherfuckers was gossiping about me intuitively. The divine, I was having dreams about it and everything. And I told this nigga that, and he denied it. Denied it. Whole time, all these people gossiping about me. Plotting on me. If you are a man and you put me in harm's way, fuck you. Fuck you. If you are anybody and I've done right by you and you intentionally put me in harm's way, fuck you. If you unintentionally put me in harm's way, fuck you. Fuck you. You ain't shit. You a bitch. You're not a good person. You're unrighteous. That's just that. That's how I see that. Like, how the hell you put people that you know on me to cause me harm, and I don't even know these people. I've never had a conversation with these people. Never met these people in person. How the hell you put these people on me to harm me, and you know these people? You're not a real man. Not to me, not in my eyes. Just as easily as you cause harm, torment, terror in my life, it's just as easy as it is for you to create balance and harmony. And if you choose not to, you don't give a fuck about me. That's how I perceive you. I don't give a fuck about what's coming out in the cards. I don't give a fuck about the telepathic messages. I love God. I love my spirit team. So again, the divine has been telling me to unblock this man. No. For what? I did that. I honored that before. This nigga ain't say shit. So I'm not expecting him to say shit. I'm not expecting him to be a fucking man. I'm not expecting him to man up. I'm not expecting him to apologize for the obvious wrongdoings that he caused and led others to do to me. Allowed others to do to me. When I found a way to communicate with you, you find a way to communicate with me. If you care enough, find a way. Find a way to communicate with me. If you care enough, because I cared enough. We care enough as divine beings. We care enough. Y'all think that shit, y'all think that shit funny. And that's my thing. So you don't realize that I don't care how severe or intense of a trial or tribulation that you witness an anointed one go through, you will also witness them overcome it. And not only that, if you participated in the obstacles, you better fucking believe the intensity is going to be far worse. The severity is going to be far worse for you than it was for that divine being. And my thing is, y'all are not even strong enough spiritually to endure whatever level of trial or tribulation the divine being went through that y'all witnessed and participated in orchestrating. Y'all not even strong enough for that. So imagine you not only going through that, but it being worse. These people not ready for that. And that's why on that video I posted today, I don't give a fuck about laughing at you going through karma. Like, I don't feel like I'm less than. I don't feel like I'm evil. Like, y'all bitches thought trying to bully me and shit was funny. So, whatever karma that you dealing with, whatever losses you dealing with, whatever sickness you dealing with, that shit funny as hell to me. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. Y'all try to paint me out like I was so this and I was so that. Well, Yes, there are ways about me that's very cutthroat, especially when it comes to righteousness and unrighteousness. When it comes to balance. When it comes to justice and injustice. I'm cutthroat as fuck. Very. Very. You gonna go through hell and hot water, bitch. Like the audacity of y'all out here trying to create hell for heavenly beings. The audacity to fix your fucking mouth. Fix your fucking face. And try to call us demonic for not giving a fuck about your struggle. As you reap what you sow. God told all of us that. God told all of us that. I mean, damn. The elders say it. The elders repeat it. What goes around comes around. You reap what you sow. Fool me one time, shame on you. Fool me twice, can't put the blame on you. Fool me 3 times, fuck the peace sign. Load the chopper and let it rain on you. So whatever my spirit team do to avenge me, whatever those thousands of angels that God told you are assigned to us. Mind you, you know the power of one angel? The power of one angel. And we got thousands assigned to us. And I feel like that's why that's why these people who team up together or gather people to help them do shit like evil shit. Boy, do you realize how delusional you are? Do you realize how strong an illusion you are immersed in? Because here's T. All those people that you gathered to gain stock and do shit and try to set people up and stuff like that, all it takes is one angel to defeat all y'all motherfuckers. One. So when there's a lot of them, damn, like, what did you thought was going to happen? Death and destruction. Balancing of the scales. And when I talk about scales, what I say, sometimes there may be too much on one side of the scale and some shit got to be removed to balance the scale back out. So if some of y'all motherfuckers got to remove off this planet, so be it. Because y'all motherfuckers thought y'all was going to remove me or somebody that God put here to be a vessel of God. So let's make the comparison. Who's most needed here? The person that's actually contributing some type of healing, balance, harmony to others, to environments, or the person that's envious and jealous of the person who is creating harmony, justice, and balance, and trying to take that person out, collecting blood on their hands. So you mean to tell me God's plan for that anointed one to meet this person at this time, that person at this time, this person at that time, this person at that location, this person, say this to that person, do this with that person, massage this person, heal this person, create a herbal concoction for this person? You mean to tell me that you think you're going to get in the way of that and interrupt a plan that God had before you enter your mother's womb, bitch? And you think God gonna let it happen? Y'all always want to paint out somebody. Let's talk about Yeshua. Y'all want to paint divine beings out as demonic for interrupting y'all's plans of evil. And you forgot that God done wiped out a whole planet. You forgot about the curses and the plagues that God unleashed. You forgot about that. You forgot about that. Just like y'all disregard the warnings before those plagues unfold to give you ample opportunity, extending olive branch for you to make a better decision to prevent those things from happening. Y'all forgot that too, right? Y'all forgot that too, right? Y'all thought shit was funny. Y'all thought y'all was getting away with some shit. Remember that. When you're in that mental hospital, that psych ward, remember that. When you're in jail, remember that. When you're in mental prison, remember that. When you getting shitted on, dogged out, remember that. When you get abandoned by everybody you thought fuck with you, remember that. Now, how the fuck? Just remember that. When you on the side of the street, strung out, remember that. When you overdose, remember that. When you get slutted out, remember that. Remember what you've done. Remember how you thought it was funny. Remember how you celebrated so early. I hope the celebration was worth it, because y'all gonna be going through hell for a long time. So I hope y'all partied as hard as y'all could fucking party, bitch. Nigga. Whomever. How did you even get in here? I'm trying to help you get out. Oh no. Is that a ladybug? Okay, I'm gonna let you figure that out, because you got a business being in my car anyway. Anyway, see what I'm saying? That's exactly what it be like. I don't know what that is. All right, y'all. Right. And that's the biggest like, that's how you can really determine who really do believe in God, like who really does have a strong faith in God. Because again, I feel like a test that everybody is going to go through is there's going to be some trials and tribulations. There's going to be some situations and scenarios. There's going to be some moments and some times where the only person that can help you get through something is God, is the Most High. If anybody ever forsook your loyalty, okay, beat you down, abused you, neglected you, bullied you, harassed you, okay, like done their worst to you to break you down, don't ever let those people convince you that your loyalty is not worth more or as precious as diamonds and gold and rubies, because it is. Here's the trick though, giving that loyalty to the divine. Give your loyalty to God. When this stuff came out about how this person betrayed me, he crushed my fucking heart, y'all. That shit crushed my heart. That shit broke my heart into pieces. I lost my job. That's how fucked up I was. That's how much it hurt. I lost my job. I couldn't even go to work because of the kind of work that I do. I work with people. I do energy work. I had to be very responsible, very on point with my energy as a massage therapist, bro. And he knew that. And he helped those people hurt me like that. He did nothing. He just let it happen. He put me in harm's way and did nothing. And knew I didn't deserve that. I didn't know how the fuck I was gonna get through that shit, bro. But it's not the first time I didn't know how I was gonna get through something. But I knew God. And I knew God is capable of all things. I know God has a track record of getting me out of other things. You get what I'm saying? I could have been dead by now. I could have been dead by now. But God. So I get the bigger picture. You know, people try to break your faith, you know, your support, which is the divine. That's the best support you would ever have, is the divine. That's the best support you would ever have. No, you're supposed to cry. When your soul wants to cry, you're supposed to cry. That's how you release pent up energy and trauma. So don't listen to that. Don't think that that's a cure, because it's not a cure. The cure is actually crying. That's the cure. Yeah. I feel like, you know, most people misunderstand that, and that's okay. That's okay. But no, you're supposed to cry when you want to cry. To each your own. I mean, that's like telling God to stop, you know, that's like telling Earth to stop raining. It's like telling God to stop generating water. How are we going to survive? How are we going to replenish? How are we going to grow? How are we going to develop herbs from the earth to heal our body without water? So think about this as well. Why did God give you the ability to cry if he wasn't supposed to cry? Like, come on now. Like, I need, and this is the level of wisdom that I have. This is why I'm not for everybody. Just like people, I could be for many. You know what I'm saying? But just like people, not everybody is receptive to the Most High. Not everybody is receptive to. But yeah, telling a person not to cry is equivalent to telling them not to heal. So, again, study to show thyself approved, because the sacral energy, the sacral chakra, okay, which is connected to the element of water, okay. Telling somebody not to cry is telling that person not to heal, because if you suppress what's trying to come out of your body, like, that's like telling somebody don't pee, don't cry, don't pee. That's equivalent to saying that. Like, what the hell? Like, so you just want that person to become sick? You want their bladder, their kidneys to fuck up? Like, you have to always consider God's knowledge and wisdom above cultural knowledge, because all cultural knowledge is not in alignment with the Most High. It's not in alignment with the truth. That's like telling somebody to go against what's natural, what God has created as natural. Anyway, so I'm not gonna read. Anyway. And that's my thing too. I don't let anybody shame me about being authentic and being natural, you know, because some people just don't know better. But because I know better, I do better. You know what I'm saying? And that's just that. That's how I'm able to heal or receive things from God. You know what I'm saying? That people may view as miraculous, or, you know, like, let's just say, after going through that situation, people expected me to be a druggie, okay, to be out here just throwing it at anybody, just to have a companion or to attention seek. You know, people expected, or people was hoping for me to be down and out and not making money and not, you know, creating and, you know, not achieving and not continuing, you know, gaining knowledge, not continuing to positively influence people. You know, like, they wanted to put out my light. That was the intent. But as you can see, me crying on live, okay, is not the first time. I cried a lot of tears, and that's why there's a lot of growth, and there's going to continue to be a lot of growth. How else would my harvest grow and expand? And some of those tears are happy tears. Some of those tears are grateful tears. And some of those tears are out of pain. But that's how you release the energy. I'm not one, nobody's going to imprison me by trying to get me to suppress things in my body that's waste. I mean, what the hell? The same way you shit and you piss is the same way you're supposed to cry. to release waste, even if that's energetic waste. How else are you supposed to get it out your body? Okay? So again, that's why the key will always be to be one with God. The key will always be to be content and to be grateful to have God as your friend, God as your best friend. Because even these people who call themselves supporting you, sometimes they, you know, they can't properly support you because they lack knowledge and wisdom and understanding. But God has all of that and then some. So even if people have good intentions, that doesn't mean that, you know, the counsel that they're offering is accurate. And you have to be strong enough to go and verify with God, or to rely on what the divine has told you about something, opposed to people who, even if they do have good intentions, to be supportive. Just saying. Just saying. So I'm not one of them. I can't be manipulated by no other soul. Okay, nobody can manipulate me, you know, into deception. Nobody. Because you're not God. I'm going to always, this isn't, well, God told me this, so that's what I'm going with. God said this, so that's what I'm doing. Oh, you should go work. You should consider working at this place. Well, God told me he want me to work for myself, so I'm working for myself. Well, what about this? Well, God told me to do this. God told me not to worry about that. God told me, just like he feed the fowls in the air, they ain't got to worry about how they gonna get their food. I ain't got to worry about that. Period. So, just like Yeshua was very rare, divine beings, anointed ones are very rare. You can't go off casual advice and counsel, because most casual advice and counsel is unaligned with the divine. And that's just that. Don't be ashamed by it. Okay, don't let nobody make you feel, you know, all their forms of manipulation. Oh, you think you all that, you think you're superior. I think that I'm fearfully and wonderfully made, because that's what God said. I think that God didn't give me the spirit of fear, because that's what God said. I think that I'm intuitive and I'm discerning, because God said, before these things spring up, I shall tell you of them, and he does. And I have proof since I was a child, long before y'all people. Pay attention to that too. Okay? Like, pay attention to that too. I'm just saying, like, yeah. So, I mean, if the goal was to hurt me, you definitely hurt me. I mean, if that was the goal, if y'all hurt my feelings, and it hurt, that shit hurt like hell. And the only way I got through it was through God. But again, that's not the first time. The only way I got through something was through God. That's not the first time. See, that's the difference between me and a lot of motherfuckers. You know, their track record is more so, is more heavily on the end of they got through something with other motherfuckers. Mine is more so heavily on the end of I got through shit with the Most High. That's the difference. And that's why y'all will never conquer me. You'll never dethrone me. I will never fall into your trap. You're gonna always be the one to fall. You're gonna always be the one to fall into it, just like the people in the past that tried me. That's my track record. So crying ain't shit compared to the agony that all these motherfuckers that did shit because they want to see me cry, because they want to see me hurt, because they want to slow me down, because they want to steal shit from me. That ain't shit compared to what the fuck they gotta deal with. Motherfuckers done had heart attacks, done lost. See, I be trying not to spook people out, but some fucked up shit that happened to people that did fucked up shit to me, whom I was loving, kind. Okay, yeah. They took advantage of my vulnerability. So, yeah. And all in all, it's edification, you know. But honestly, people who have to resort to evil, to a person who is generally kind and, you know, kind-hearted and stuff like that, and they view that as a weakness to exploit, these people are weak. These people are not strong at all. And I guarantee you, whatever trials and tribulations that you have gone through as that kind, pure-hearted person, it speaks volumes about your strength to be able to retain the purity of your heart in this fucked up world, compared to these motherfuckers who are bitter, who think it's cute and cool to be evil, to be wicked, jealous as fuck, insecure as fuck. I don't give a damn how you dress it up. I don't give a fuck what you got on, bitch. You're jealous, you're insecure, you don't love yourself. You need validation and approval from these motherfuckers to love yourself, and even then you still don't love yourself. You need them likes, you need them comments, you need them compliments, bitch. I don't. That's the difference between me and you. I appreciate them. We all appreciate them. We all appreciate, you know, positive affirmations and shit. That's all of us. But the difference between me and you, I'm not desperate for the shit. At the end of the day, regardless of motherfuckers go years not telling me a goddamn thing, God always tell me every fucking day how beautiful I am, how loved I am. God always tell me, God always show me every fucking day. My spirit team be on point. They let me know how loved I am every day. So it's okay if family withdraw and want to give silent treatment, weaponize silence, or people that I love weaponize their silence or withdraw their love, their care, consistency, and compassion. God doesn't. God's still there. Never forsake me. Never leave me. Even when they all abandoned me, because there's been several cycles of motherfuckers abandoning me, God never did. God don't. So and it's so crazy how God just throwing me blessings left and right. And I'm telling you, like, you really got to be strong when you're already strong, because the severity of the battles and the war, the trials and the tribulations that you go through at the hands of people who are haters, jealous, it really be like, it be wild, y'all. Like, it be a lot. It be a lot. So finishing what I was saying, like, I'm so grateful to God, you know. Like I said, God throwing me blessings left and right. And I can think about that shit. How that man, the dude that, you know, I just think about how he put me in harm's way like that, and how deeply he betrayed me unnecessarily. When I set the tone from the beginning to just be honest about any and everything, you know, put me on. Don't do no surprise attack shit, bro. Just let me know what's up, because I wouldn't do that to you. I don't move like that. You ain't gotta do that to me. And he did that to me anyway. And not just did that to me, but he did it in a treacherous manner with other people that I don't know. And it still makes me cry sometimes. I'm still releasing the shit, because that's how fucked up it was. And God just steady handing me blessings left and right. And I'm expressing my gratitude. I'm grateful. I'm blessed for sure. But I'm definitely not the same. I'm not the same after that. And what I mean by I'm not the same in, like, I'm a lot more slower to trust people on a deeper level. I love people. I love life, because life in itself is God's spirit, you know. I exchange love with people all the time, you know. Kindness. I don't know, if anything, maybe I'm like, I feel like I always kind of been like heavily that energy because of things that I witnessed and have gone through firsthand. So I love making people smile. love I love the satisfaction people get when they feel heard and seen, and being that person to give that. You get what I'm saying? It's just in who I am, you know? That's just who I am. Now that's not going to change, but what is going to change? I am slower when it comes to trusting people. I don't care, like, if it's like, oh, we're developing a bond and the bond is deepening over time, and you know, we have chemistry and stuff. I'm a lot slower with letting things go too far. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I'm very forgiving too. I believe in that for sure. But it's gonna take a lot. If you did a lot to betray me, it's gonna take a lot to gain my trust again. That's just that. I mean, that should be obvious, you know. So it's gonna have to be something very thoughtful, something very divinely guided and orchestrated, okay, to reestablish trust with me, for sure. Like, it's gonna have to resonate on a soul level. It's gonna have to be soul communication, okay, soul recognition type shit. Like, because again, I'm generally not the person that can be bought anyway. Like, it's not gonna be enough for you to just, you know, try to give me something, okay. I can honor the apology if I discern that it's sincere. You know what I'm saying? But that's the thing about me. I'm going to discern whether it's sincere or insincere. You know? It's not going to be a matter of, oh, I'm going to apologize to lessen the intensity of my karma, of my judgment. Like, hell no. Like, you still going to go through that. You still going to go through that. We're going to make sure, if you want to be over here, oh, my ancestors, the divine, those angels assigned to me, go make good and well. Go make sure, oh, you really learn not to play with me ever again in your life. To whom much is given, much is required. I don't give a fuck. Because I give big energy. I give a lot of love. I give love that transforms people. So if you want back in, much is required. Period. You're going to commit in a way that you never committed before. You're going to devote yourself in a way that you've never devoted yourself before. And it better be the closest, that devotion and that commitment better align with the Most High. You want a commitment with me, you better commit to God, and that commitment better align with your commitment to God. Period. No, I'm not gonna go ask my homegirl. I'm not gonna go check with my homegirl, my relative or nothing, okay, about if I should deal with you. I'm gonna check. So I'm leaning over here like so y'all can actually see me, because God, I swear over here just look like but here's the thing. Yeah, divine beings, we've gone through a lot. We've gone through a lot of fucked up shit. But one thing about the things that we've gone through, none of it is in vain. We don't allow it to be in vain. You know what I'm saying? You're not supposed to allow challenges, trials, and tribulations that you've gone through. You're not supposed to allow it to be in vain. Okay? Meaning, you move accordingly from those trials and tribulations and those challenges and them fucked up people that you experience. You move accordingly. You move. It's like training. It's like training. You know what I'm saying? So it should be expected. You know what I'm saying? For me to not be as trusting. It should be expected. You know? For me to be a little more stingy with my energy. Like, it should be expected. You know what I'm saying? Because you learn so much about yourself through this shit. You learn so much about yourself. about how valuable you are, how powerful you are, why you trigger people to do fucked up things. Okay? What is it about you? What is it about me? And you ain't got no choice but to know what it is about you. You're fearfully and wonderfully made. You're loved. Okay? You receive the best love that ever exists in this life, and that's from God, bro. You know how you have people who want to fight you, eliminate you, make you an enemy because of how somebody loves you, like a human, how much a human or a person loves you, or an environment loves you, or a community? Nah, so just imagine the severity when it comes to God loving you, how much God loves you, okay? And people fighting you because of that. It's not that my phone is dying, it's my phone keep overheating because I'm in the sun. So yeah. So just consider that, you know? It's almost like, you know, think about evil and satanic energy and stuff. Like, and think about Satan from heaven, right? Being banned from blessings from God. You know? That's why so many people get caught up in the illusion of receiving blessings from other people, humans. You know, people can be bought with the right price, right? And they fall for that trick. Just like those fallen angels fell for that. You feel me? So those who forfeited their connection with the divine, saying like for materials, for pride, for clout, for attention seeking, for status, right? You divine beings have not forfeited that. And this is why they go so hard against your energy. This is why, you know, you being loving, you being kind, you being harmonious, you're creating harmony, okay? You're generating love, you're generating problem solving and solutions, you're generating restoration, replenishment, you're generating growth and expansion, okay? This is all God's energy. That alone is what triggers people who are compromised by some type of evil spirit or some type of demonic energy. That alone is enough, okay, for them to want to attack you, eliminate you, get rid of you, kill you, okay? See you become them, okay? See you decrease value and your self-worth and your self-respect and your self-love. They want to see you become demonic. They want you to convert to evil because of the access that you have to heaven, your blessings, okay? How God shines on your continence, your beauty, your magnetism, the kind of opportunities you attract, the miracles that you get to experience. This is why they attack you. This is why you're most hated by demons. So it's not so much the people, the suit. This is why you're most hated by evil. Period. And this is why you have to move exclusively. You know what I'm saying? Treat your energy very exclusively. Treat your energy very high value, like, because you are. And that's the thing, like, these are people who want to convince you that you're not, but you are. You're every bit of it. And they know it too. They see it too. That's why they triggered. So yeah, some shit gonna hurt your feelings because you're pure-hearted. It's not about being weak or anything. You're pure-hearted. You actually genuinely give a fuck. Like, you're not somebody that's out here moving like that with other people. So it's like when people move that way with you and you're not doing anything, you know, to create any reason that we would define in our, you know, our human perspective, that we would consider reason, okay, for something to be shitty to somebody or us. We're not moving in that way. And so when people move or handle us like that, it's very hurtful. It's like, damn, we already, you know, are so loving and so considerate and so generous and kind and compassionate and, you know, considerate of boundaries and stuff, for the simple fact that we know what it's like. We know what it's like when people, you know, invade your energy, you know. Yeah. All right, y'all, I have to I gotta go. But yeah, take some time out, you know, if you haven't listened to the whole video, listen to the video. It's gonna be just ebb and flow through it. There's gonna be times of turbulence, but that's natural, right? There's times when there's thunderstorms, you know. It's always, again, please understand, if you tell somebody not to cry, you're telling the person not to heal. Okay, that's telling somebody not to cry is equivalent to telling somebody not to pee when they gotta pee. So again, let's unlearn cultural knowledge, okay, that is actually not knowledge at all. It's ignorance.